Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to No Limits Wrestling, the final episode before the Royal Rumble. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, tonight a huge triple threat matchup is taking place. The Undertaker last week interrupted the match between Hardy and Punk to crown a number 30 for the Royal Rumble, and now tonight the Commissioner has punished all three by issuing a triple threat matchup. The man who is pinned is number one in the Royal Rumble matchup. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, at the Royal Rumble there is going to be a steel cage matchup between the Viper Randy Orton and the Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle. A few weeks ago on Metal, Randy Orton punted Kurt Angle with a cast on his foot, and now that is led to Randy Orton challenging Angle to a steel cage matchup. And we haven't even seen Kurt Angle since he was assaulted by Randy Orton a few weeks ago on Metal. And now you can see the venomous look in his eyes. Randy Orton, he has a purpose. That purpose is to not only end the unbeaten streak of Kurt Angle, but to end his career as well. And don't forget, folks, to win a steel cage match, you don't have to pin or submit the man you're facing. You can also escape the cage. So Randy Orton doesn't even have to end the technical unbeaten run of Kurt Angle. All he has to do is escape the cage, and he's won. But what's he got to say to Angle right now?
You know, for someone who prides themselves on being the smartest guy in the room, you are one dumb bastard. Last week, chose a stipulation for our match, made a mistake. He thinks that the RKO is my greatest weapon, but it's not my greatest weapon. My greatest weapon is my ability to inflict unspeakable pain on those whom I deem necessary. On those who I think deserve it. I don't need the RKO to win. That would be too quick, too easy to make this slow and agonizingly painful for him. So what I'm thinking is, when I'm in this steel cage this Sunday, when that door closes and it's locked and everything's situated and secure, when that bell rings, I am gonna break your jaw so myself don't have to listen to you run your mouth week in and week out. Then I'm gonna drag your carcass to one of these corners in the cage, and I'm gonna stick a boot so deep in your gut it not only knocks the wind out of your hell, I might even break a rib or two. And as you're gasping for breath, I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna run you into the steel cage. I'm gonna run you to the cold hard steel over and over and over again till every bone in your body is aching, till every inch of your skin is on fire. And once the misery ends, once the beating is over, so will your reign. Get it all out of my system. Hey, you know what? I go backstage and I'm gonna RKO every son of a bitch I see. And that is a promise.
An enraged Randy. Oh my God. Business is about to pick up here. We haven't seen him since he was assaulted by Orton a few weeks ago. And oh my God, here he is. Here is Kurt Angle. And he wants vengeance. And he is. Oh my God. Ramming him into the steel. And now, ankle lock. Locked in. Orton, he's got nowhere to go. Randy Orton has nowhere to go. He is locked in that steel cage. He's trying to get to the door, but Kurt Angle is beating the hell out of him, but a reversal into the cage wall. And now, oh, the RKO! And you gotta believe that Kurt Angle is definitely not 100% after being punted in the skull on Metal a few weeks ago. Oh my God. And look at this. Randy Orton is handcuffed Kurt Angle to this steel cage. He's like an animal, oh my God. Rammed his knee into his ribs. And this is just absolutely disrespectful. A slap to the face. And he chains Angle up like an animal. And he's just taunting him. Kurt Angle has definitely not recovered. And he probably won't have recovered for Sunday's Royal Rumble, but how the hell is he going to be able to be tasked with not only facing Orton in the steel cage, but also competing in the Royal Rumble? That is the question that's on everyone's minds. As Randy Orton once again uses his Viper-like instincts to maim and destroy Kurt Angle. An Angle, I fear for his safety, especially locked in a cage with that Viper. And well folks, this is what happened this past week. Essentially, it was a battle royal to crown a number 1 contender for the X Division title, and this is exactly what happened. Akio and Daniels were the last 2 men in that battle royal this past week on Metal, and then it was Daniels eliminating Akio and becoming number 1 contender. That matchup, that X Division title match between Daniels and Austin Aries, is going to happen on the Royal Rumble pre-show, and it is surely going to be a great match. And remember, Daniels actually already has a pinfall victory over the X Division champion Austin Aries, which he got on episode 31 a few weeks ago. He was unsuccessful in the Ultimate X matchup, but will he be more successful come the Royal Rumble? Because on the pre-show, that's when the match is going to happen, and then if he can win the X Division title, maybe he can go on and win the Royal Rumble. Certainly would be a fantastic night for Daniels if that were to happen, but we shall see. And as mentioned before, it has been made official after Daniels won that battle royal. He is going to go one-on-one with Aries for the X Division title on the Royal Rumble pre-show. That is the Wednesday before the Royal Rumble, and it is going to be fantastic. You don't want to miss it, because quite frankly, they're not going to miss it. They're going to be on their A game at the Royal Rumble for both the Royal Rumble match and the X Division title match that comes their way. But here's another man who's looking to impress at the Royal Rumble as well. That man is Akio, and he was the man who Daniels last eliminated in the Battle Royal this past week. And namely, this past week, actually got a pretty decent showing against the Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho. Didn't defeat him, unfortunately, but it certainly put him on the map in his debut matchup. So Akio, with that fantastic performance this past week, can he replicate it tonight? And well, there you see, the X Division champion Austin Aries, the man who Daniels is going to face on the Royal Rumble pre-show for the X Division title. And Aries obviously going to scout Daniels here tonight, and he's going to want to scout him as much as possible, because the last time they faced off one-on-one, it was Daniels who got the victory, and that is a night that Aries will want to forget. But here you see the cover following the standing moonsault. But you got to believe that Aries is going to be a little bit worried about the challenge from Daniels, considering the pinfall loss he suffered a few weeks ago. But then again, Aries may have learned from that. We shall see, as Daniels is in a leg hold right now, and I don't know what the hell happened to my voice just then. Leg hold, that's what I meant to say. And I'm sure that Daniels is being scrambled right now, especially after that knee. Running knee by Akio, and a kick up by Daniels, and that surprised me. Aries also probably wishing that Akio will do as much damage to Daniels as possible. And now Daniels pointing to Aries, saying this is going to be you in a few weeks' time. And now you can see Akio trying to make it to the ropes, trying to get some leverage and trying to stay on his feet, but he can't stay on his feet. He's been brought back down by Daniels again. And now, again taunting Aries at ringside here. Aries trying to scout Daniels, and if I'm in Aries' position, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing at the moment, because it looks as if Daniels has brought his A game tonight. Akio on the floor, following the stunner. And now Daniels runs off the ropes, but a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Reversal by Akio. And can Akio get his first win in NLW by defeating Daniels? He's going to go for a back suplex, is he? Picked up, but a headlock reversal, but another reversal by Akio into a roll-through pin. And now Akio's on the top, and oh my god, what a boot! Right to the face. Could have very well broken his nose. And now Daniels, springboard, BME, best moonsault ever, and that is all she wrote. And Aries is taking notice, because Daniels just got a decisive victory. Christopher Daniels is ready for the Royal Rumble pre-show. He is ready to face Austin Aries for the X Division title. And Daniels, he knows it himself. There's certainly no sign of lacking in confidence in Daniels, you see, after that massive, beautifully executed kick to the face, and then this best moonsault ever. Look at the height he got when he flipped over, hit that moonsault and got the victory. And you can see how much it means to him. Well, Akira, the next time we're going to see him is likely going to be in the Royal Rumble matchup. Hopefully he'll be looking for a better performance then. But now you can see Daniels. And now there is Austin Aries, the X Division champion. He is the only X Division champion in NLW history. But that could very well change at the Rumble. Aries holds that title high for now. But for how long will that be? Because Christopher Daniels is looking to take it from him. It happens on the Royal Rumble pre-show. Aries versus Daniels. X Division title on the line.
Live Saturday, November 28th from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City comes an event from NLW unlike any other. Episode 37 goes extreme. The NLW Extreme Reunion. From the place where ECW thrived for many years, NLW brings the action, and it brings it to a whole new level. Featuring former ECW greats such as Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Lionheart Chris Jericho, and many more ECW alumni, and all your favorite NLW stars as well mixed in. This is Extreme Reunion, live from Hammerstein Ballroom, New York City. Are you ready to get extreme?
NLW going to take it on the road to New York City, the Hammerstein Ballroom. I can't wait for that, but I can also not wait for the Royal Rumble. Only 2 weeks away now. This is the final episode before the Royal Rumble, as you know, and this triple threat matchup has huge implications for the Royal Rumble matchup. About to make his way to the ring, the Second City Saint, CM Punk. And last week, him and Jeff Hardy had a stalemate. Nobody could get the decisive fall because last week Hardy and Punk went one-on-one. The winner was going to get the number 30 entry into the Royal Rumble matchup, but it was The Undertaker who interrupted it, made it a no contest. It was a form of protest against the Commissioner's actions towards him and his brother Kane. After he joined the NWO, the Commissioner did. And ever since then, the Commissioner's been putting everybody on this roster in a difficult position. And Hardy, another man who's not happy at the treatment at the hands of the NLW Commissioner at the moment. Last week he could have been number 30 along with CM Punk. But now, the man who is pinned in this matchup is going to be number 1 in the Royal Rumble. So you do not want to get pinned equally. You don't really want to lose, but it's the man who's pinned that's going to be number 1. And Hardy doesn't want it to be him, Punk doesn't want it to be him. But that's only 2 men in the fray. There's still 1 man to go in this triple threat matchup. And that man is the Phenom, The Undertaker. And he is looking for revenge. But it's going to have to be put on hold for a moment because the Commissioner has distracted The Undertaker with this. A match in which the loser, the man who is pinned, is going to be number 1 in the Royal Rumble. The Undertaker's form of protest backfiring on him, unfortunately, last week. And now he's been put in this position. And if I'm CM Punk or I'm Jeff Hardy, I'm not happy with The Undertaker's actions. But to be fair, you got to believe that the Commissioner had this kind of matchup in mind anyway. It would have happened regardless if Undertaker interfered or not. And now this triple threat matchup gets underway. The man who is pinned is number 1 in the Royal Rumble, so you want to be extra careful in this matchup. Doesn't matter that you win, only matters that you survive long enough, as Punk is sent into the Undertaker. And now Hardy going to work, but now it's CM Punk with a roll up, and now here you see the Undertaker, another roll up, but now a drop kick by Hardy, breaking it up. And he didn't really have to, but it's more personal pride and momentum heading into the Rumble. You want to get a win. That is the aim of the game. But you do also not want to lose. You don't want to be pinned. And that is something CM Punk knows all too well. He's running off the ropes. Undertaker in trouble. Oh my God. Suicide dive through the second rope. And collides with the body of the Undertaker. Risking life and limb to get a decent number in the Rumble, you feel. And now look at Hardy, over the top, crashing down onto The Undertaker and CM Punk. And this huge triple threat matchup is certainly getting right out of the starting block right here. The Undertaker, he's leaning against the barricade as Jeff Hardy sending CM Punk back in the ring. We'll take a look, like a torpedo, right up until the Undertaker's face, and then this, diving over the ropes. And the athleticism of Hardy, he doesn't give a damn, he just wants to hurt people any way possible. Floats over and delivers a massive kick to the back, sends him into the corner, but a boot by Punk, and now he's in the corner, and now this doesn't look good at all for Hardy. Running knee and the Bulldog combo, and now Punk with the Anaconda Vice. If Hardy taps out here, he's going to be number one in the Rumble. Hardy hanging on, but now it's the Undertaker breaking that up with a massive boot to the chest. And Hardy looks at himself and gets a boot for it. Booted out of the ring, and now it is CM Punk being choked out in the corner by the Dead Man. A man who a few weeks ago had his brother Kane buried alive right in front of him by the NWO, and he wants to get revenge, but at the moment he's being raked in the eyes by CM Punk, who's been placed on the top rope. Now hopefully going to get down from this position, but it's Hardy who goes back after him. What does Hardy want it? Oh my. And now he's on his shoulders. Undertaker has him up. Punk goes for the cross body, but it's Hardy with a roll up. Is he going to get it here? He doesn't. Undertaker kicks out. CM Punk risking it, and maybe once risked too many for him. Diving off the ropes and a massive clothesline by Undertaker, taking the head off of Hardy. And now you've got to believe he wants to go for a chokeslam here. Hardy in no man's land on the floor, but now Hurricane Rana trying to get back into this contest, hoping to get some revenge on the Undertaker, make him number one in the Rumble perhaps, but an elbow stops that from happening for the meantime at least. And now he's followed by the throat and planted with a chokeslam. Undertaker in control, but not for long. Good grief. Massive roundhouse kick to the side of the head, and the Undertaker rolling over. He's almost like a movingless carcass. Look at him looking up. He sees CM Punk on the top rope, and the elbow drop does not connect. Undertaker has it well scouted and moves out of the way, but now it's Hardy on the top rope. Taker doesn't see it. There's the Swanton. Can he go for the cover? But he's on the shoulders of Punk. And the GTS. And Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is number one in the Rumble. And it's a damn shame it had to come to this. But this is the Commissioner's doing. Wielding his power, misusing it to put these three men in jeopardy. And you can see CM Punk, he's relieved that he's not number one, but he's angered that he's a ploy. He's angered at himself, but look at this, the Swanton connected, but it was CM Punk taking advantage, hitting the GTS and pinning Jeff Hardy, and that means that Jeff Hardy is number one in the Royal Rumble matchup. And it's a damn shame, quite frankly. I wouldn't want any of these men to be number one in the Rumble. None of them deserve it. But it's the Commissioner wielding his power as he's done as of late, and using it to manipulate these three men into fighting for survival here. That's essentially what it is. It's like the Hunger Games. And now you can see Jeff Hardy devastated that he's number one. But men have won the Royal Rumble from number one in the past. Let's not forget about that, but it's going to be hard as hell. That's the problem. It is going to be, well, it's going to be the most difficult number you can go in. It's almost impossible, but nevertheless, you can see our main event up next is going to be historic. It's an all-star matchup, 8-man tag, Sting DX and Jericho versus Styles and the NWO. That is our main event up next.